we're talking about the 8 reasons. 8 reasons why people cheat. 8 reasons. Good evening, Joycelyn. Nice to have you. 8 reasons why people cheat. Anella Humphrey, good night. Blessings to you. Nice having you. Yes. You know, somebody told me, Mike, you know, it's not if you're going to get, well, in Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago, we call it horn. I think in Jamaica, they call it boat. In other places, they call it bun. But let's say infidelity. The gentleman said, it's not if, it is when. And somebody else said, you can't stop it. You're going to get it at some point in your life. But you can only delay it. That's the most you could do. Just put it on delay, but it's going to come and hit you sometime. Good evening, Myrtle. Nice having you. Sandra Lam, Guyana. Nice having you. Edwin Tulsi, Trinidad. Yeah, let me see various places that people from. London, Joe Field, good to see you. Wendy Ann Norton, some of our regulars. Nice having you all. So this is going to be a 3-part. This is going to be a 3-part program. The reason why, because it is too much to pack into one evening. So tonight we're going to talk about why people cheat. So if you have ever had somebody cheat on you, or if you have ever cheated, see if you could find the category that we have caused you to be in that area of cheating. Joan, good evening. Nice having you. Joan, last night, I had some deadlines dealing with. I couldn't join you at all, but people have messaged me and they wanted the play. So I went to your YouTube and sent it to them. I'm sure that you would have had a nice program as per usual. Joan Bob Watt. Right. So there are a number of reasons why people cheat. And we're going to deal with that one this evening. Hopefully, we're going to deal with the other one next week. Though I am expected to be in another place, in another island, I'm hoping that the internet will be robust enough that we could still be able to transmit. And we're going to deal with the 7 types of cheaters. So one is, tonight is why people cheat. But there's the other one in the 7 types of cheaters, because not everybody cheats for the same reason. And they are not, there's a certain modus operandi that people operate with when they cheat. We're going to talk about those 7 types of cheaters. And then hopefully the following week, we're going to deal with 5 types of affairs, because you have an affair, but there's a type of an affair that you have where it is linked and so on. You know, that some people are cyberspace, internet type of affairs, but they really don't meet. Some of them eventually meet face to face, etc. But we're going to talk about all that. So we have plenty to unpack. Yeah. Share the live, people. Tell them Mike at Night is on. Langdon, good evening to you. Carmen Dundas, nice having you. All right. Yeah, send up me some love, some hearts then. Let me make sure that you all are. All right. So let's get good, because we want to be able to. And this is coming from a psychological research and background, etc. So it's not that I'm pulling things out of the hat. These people have gone into extensive survey into these things, etc. So I'm really bringing it from Dr. Gary Lewandowski, from a psychological standpoint of what he has written concerning it, right? So as we go along, these are the things that are going to be expressed. No, it is not a justification for cheating. I need to say that, because some people think that, hey, then this is why a good reason why somebody cheats. It's not a justification for cheating. It's an explanation. You understand the difference? So Poverty is, and we explain that people get into criminal activities because they are poor. It's an explanation. It's not a justification for poor people to be criminals, because there are many poor people who are not criminals. And there have been many people in our foreparents who have grown up with very little and they were not criminals. It's not a justification, it is just an explanation. And so cheating is an explanation. It is never justification for it, right? Ian, Jamaica, you're in the house. Nice having you. Bermuda, Carol. Yep, nice having you, Carol. Good. All right. So let's go. Before we go into the 7th, I want to be able to share with you what this doctor said. That is the ultimate relationship violation, he calls it. You could violate a relationship by not spending time, by abuse and by insults, etc. You're ghosting, being absent, fobbing. You're right there in the relationship, but you're on your phone all the time, etc. So you could violate it in another way. But he says the ultimate is cheating. All right. So, my dear lady, Jillian, nice to see you. Good, good. Well, okay. She said, thanks for the clarification. Like you were thinking that you were getting away by saying that, hey, cheating is good justification. All right. So he says the ultimate violation of the relationship, and it's one of the most notorious relationship killers, because if this is what brings down most relationships in the first place. So this is where we are going with it. So there are many motivations for the infidelity, and this research they did a research with 495 individuals who admitted to cheating. So having had 495 persons, and the researchers gave 77 items as to the essentials as to what would cause people to cheat. 77 as to why these people did it. 495 people, 77 items. The analysis revealed 8 key motivations or causes for cheating. Now, I'm sure that there may be more in some cases, but this research brought 8. And most of it, by the way, incidentally, did not include sex. That is not that people horny, not that people looking for sex while they cheat, right? Most of it did not have that component at all. So let's look at it. When people cheat, they cheat for a number of the 7s that I'm going to call out there. But they said that relationship affairs that take place on the basis of situations last shorter. So if somebody, because they're in a poor state, they don't have a place to stay, those relationships last shorter. Those relationships of infidelity. However, when the relationship is based on a need and something that is void in a person's life, personally, intimacy, etc., those relationships of affection tend to last longer in the state of infidelity. So, and they said that women have longer affairs on average than men. Well, you know what that means? That when it comes to men, may probably have more affairs than women, but they don't last long in it. But women, when they have an affair, it lasts very long. That's what the gentleman is saying. So, and listen to some statistics. Let me bring out some statistics. McKinney, nice to have you. Long time no see, long time no hear. All right, let me see who else here. Michelle Nicholson. Hey, Michelle. Nice. Listen to some statistics. In the affairs, most, that is 62.8% of people admitting to expressing affection for their outside person and having sexual explicit dialogue as far as they talk about it. They share with others, me and this person in thing, and I know I'm married or I know I'm in a relationship, but about, they said 61% of the people actually tell other people. And they said roughly 4 out of 10, which is 37%, had intimate conversations concerning it, real close conversation with it, while 1 in 10 actually said to the, understand the various levels that they talk about here. 1 in 10 will say in this affair relationship, I love you, to the person that they have in the affair with. There are people who will have an affair, but they don't say they love them because they may not be in love. They may be in it for a particular gain. Some people have an affair because they want a job. The person gives them an opportunity. Part of the payment is that. There are people who do it because of the fact that they couldn't pay their rent, and so they give up, do that, etc. And then both men and women with classifying in this thing. Yeah? So the actual people who actually say, I love you, 1 in 10, 11% of people actually say to the person they're in affairs with that they love them, right? Those who reported less emotional connection in their stable, their legitimate relationship, that is it. So if those who have a legitimate relationship do not have an emotional connection to their partner, they don't feel emotionally vested, intimacy, and not sexy now, connectivity in that relationship. They said they had more intimacy with their affair partner because it is missing in their relationship. That's what the doctor said. Those who are just joining me, let me just tell you again, this is from a research from Dr. Gary Lewandowski, and doing a research with 495 people. These are some of the things he has come up with. I can't doubt the man. The man say he did this and he did the research and he did all the necessary checks and balances that they go with such research. This is what the man said. If you have no intimacy or it is lacking in your relationship, the person is going to find it more than likely on the outside, and that relationship is going to last long while they're on the outside. Why? Because they're finding that emotional solace in the relationship outside. This therefore says that we should work on connectivity in relationships to reduce the chances. You understand? As I told you, the gentleman told me, you can't stop it, but you could delay. You could delay you getting yourself into a situation of an affair. So, all right, so he says that lack of it inside of the relationship, and he says similar, the affair that was prompted by love, because the lack of love in the relationship, your legitimate relationship, you all are in it, but there is not a love connection. Individuals found the affair more intellectually and emotionally satisfying because I don't have love where I am. I find that the discussions, and the emotional content in the affair is more satisfying because I don't have love here. You know, sometimes you say that you love the person, but you're not in love with the person. Yeah? You people, share the life, people. So, much of the sexual activity in affairs, they said, involve kissing. 86% of the people in affairs kiss. Cuddling, 72%. Kissing is 86%. Cuddling is 72%. And I wonder if in legitimate relationships, how often people really kiss and how often they cuddle, hug, wrap up with each other, embrace each other. But they are saying in their affairs, 86% of it is kissing and 72% is cuddling. Wow. Touching, mutual masturbation, touching up of each other, 53%. And actual sex with the person you're having the affair with is 46%. No, that is under 50%. So did the person really go there, or do people really go into an affair for sex when it is 46% of them is for sex? And all of the high numbers are the petting and the cuddling, intimacy. And so if you're supposed to use that, one should probably surmise that one of the death knell of legitimate relationships is the intimacy. It is just not there. So you have married people, you have people in relationships who just go and have sex, and that's it. Yeah, London, it's shocking, eh? But that is it. Yes, Dahlia. And when you check people in legitimate relationships, a lot of the foreplay and a lot of the gaiety of the relationship is missing. Sex is business. You understand? You almost could tell that it's coming. It's no spontaneity. It's no joy, etc. So people find it on the outside, because outside, it is the suspense and the sneak around and all of that. Give it a little oomph. And then when people in legitimate relationship use sex as a tool of punishment, and they abstain themselves, etc., they're already not touching because they're in a legitimate relationship. They already have little or no romance in it. They live in a business arrangement, sometimes tenancy. And then now you cut out sex, or you put sex on hold for a while. And then somebody on the outside supplies the kissing and the flirting and the touching and all of that. And before you know it, you're in an affair. Lisa, you know come. I hope you got the statistics we put up before, Lisa. Lisa David. Yeah. So, and he says that vaginal sex was 53%. Still less than cuddling, still less than kissing. 53% of people in an affair was actually having legitimate, full-blown sex. Anal sex was 6.1%, and no physical contact was 5.7%, the lowest. Okay? So there you have it, my people. If you wanted to know what's going on in yours, Lisa, I will have to supply you the recording. If you wanted to know what might be causing some of the issues, we've started to tell you some of them. So let me see. Right? If you have any question on the line, pose it. The telephone line, the telephone number is on the screen, hopefully. The number is 868-688-5363. If you want to call, if it is also the same number that you use if you want private confidential counseling. Some people need help, because if you don't get help, you are going to just delay or put your head in the sand to what is coming down the pipe. So some people may need help because they may have experienced the state of infidelity already. Some people have thought about it. Some people have suffered from it, have been victims to it, etc. So that is the number you call for private and confidential counseling. 868-688-5363. It should be somewhere at the bottom of the screen, somewhere there near my name. When a man and woman put on a show, hard to compete. Well, London says that it's hard to compete with the Honor man and the Honor woman. Y'all tell me why. Do y'all agree with London with that? Do you all agree that it is hard to compete with the Honor man and the Honor woman? And if yes, why so? Why is it hard to compete with the Honor man and the Honor woman? So while you're all answering that, let me try and address that. We will deviate for a moment and to address that question. One of the things is that the person who is the outside person really more open to adventure in many cases than the person who is the legitimate bona fide partner. Sometimes mediocrity and laissez-faire spirit fall into relationships that people don't work hard at keeping the relationship at its top. They take things for granted. But the person on the outside more or less do things to keep the fires burning and keep the relationship going. I remember meeting a lady sometime. I haven't seen her for a long time, but because I've never known her to be going out anyway. But this time I saw her all dressed up and looking very nice and so on. And she said she's going to the gym and all of that. I said, oh, is that so? I said, but you are always a stay-at-home person. You don't go out, you don't lime and so on and on. And here's what she told me. She revealed to me that she and her husband broke up. So now she's looking. So she slimmed down nice. She nice up herself because she's looking. All the time. You won't dressing up like that. You won't changing your clothes to wear newer clothes and go in here dress and all of that. So sometimes the person who is legitimate take themselves and the relationship for granted. Always busy. And I'm talking about both men and women. Eh? Both men and women. A man is busy with his job, busy doing this, busy with a number of his extracurricular activities and so on. Don't have time for the family. Don't have time to spend. But when they realize that somebody else has moved into the nest, they prepare to take more attention because that person on the outside was giving attention. Yep, we take things for granted. That's definitely for one. Good evening, my dear sister Diane. Good evening to you. All right. Nikisha said complacency. Lisa said because they will do things the wife will not do or has no time for. Let me just touch on Lisa there just a moment. I didn't plan to deal with that part of the research tonight. I was hoping to deal with that next week, but she's talk about the outside person will do things that the legitimate person may not do. And that is what came out in some of the research, that there are things that the outside person will experiment with, willing to try out. Whereas the person who is legitimate in the relationship don't want to try nothing new. Where you get that from? Don't bring that here. You understand me? Anyway, let me mind my business. Eh? So let me give you some of them, and then we're going to talk about some of the other things. 8 things that lead to infidelity. Anger. Something that happened in the relationship that angers the person so much that they consider seriously going on the outside. Because of that anger, and this anger itself may be the unfaithfulness of the other person. It may be the way of the person treated them. It may be something that they felt very reprehensible that the person has done. It may be because of abuse that they did. But whatever it is, the anger, when they did the research, some people is just because they're so angry are going outside of there and do it. And sometimes they are angry to the point that they want to hurt back the person who hurt them. So let's say it was unfaithfulness that caused this person to be angry and then find a person to also be unfaithful with. They are finding somebody to be unfaithful with in order to hurt back the person. It's a vengeance kind of thing. Yeah? And some of them actually make it known that they are in the relationship. They put it out there. They let them know that they are seen in public, etc. Or sometimes they themselves tell them, because one of the research said is that some people confess to the unfaithfulness, not because they are noble and penitent, but it is because they want to rub it in. That's why they confess to it. You could do it. I could do it too. All about me. Okay, let me see what people say. The poor spouse does not know they have a competitor, but the outside person brings a A game all the time. Yeah, London, you know the thing self. Because yes, the one on the outside know what they're up against, and they go bring their best play in the game. Yeah. Okay. People, if you wish to call me and go live and share your thoughts, 868-688-5363. All right, so we have one. We already put down one reason why there are people, why some people cheat. Anger. So well, let's say you have an argument, strong argument with your partner, your spouse. That anger drives you. And sometimes some people that do it, the fit of anger is so bad that technically they use the other person. It's not that they love the other person, and probably this is why sex is not on the high list, because this is why they said sex is not what causes many of these issues. There are other issues which we are talking about, and this is one of them. It's just your anger. And sex is a way to take out your anger. And sometimes you're so angry with your spouse, one of your stress relievers may very well be sex, or being loved, or being receiving affection from somebody else. All right, 2. They have a self-esteem issue because for some reason they're not feeling good with themselves. There are some people they feel that there's some physical shortcomings that they may have. They're not as beautiful as they thought. They're not as handsome as they thought. They're not as charming and so on. Some parts of them might be too big. Some parts might be too small, etc. Whatever it is, there's this esteem issues. But somebody seemed to appreciate them as they are. Whereas the spouse ignored them. They felt uncomfortable with who they are. And then they are tempted to go with somebody who appreciates them as they are. One of the things that they said, especially now that we have so many issues of where women are having their breasts removed because of cancer. is that sometimes the person that the woman is in a legitimate relationship with cannot accept or handle the fact that the woman either has one breast or no breast at all. So she might have a self-esteem issue. But another man outside of there is quite okay with her. Remember, the one, sometimes the relationship outside is not about sex. Many times about emotion and intimacy and closeness and connectivity, etc. And that person, though never thinking about being an intimate relationship, want to feel accepted. Yeah, you have some men also would have some issue. They might not be as bright as the wife. The wife might have the degrees that hot as ever, real hot degrees. You could get scorched with their degrees. So he might not be too bright, but then a woman on the outside who looks beyond his academics and looks at his potential and values his potential, boosts his self-esteem. And before you know it, he's in a clandestine relationship on the outside. Want to talk to me, people. What Michelle Andrew saying, sometimes it was always the tendency, man come from a wild nature, and the slightest confusion, they begin to plan the way out to spite the partner. Hurtful words fly and vexation comes. All right, if you say that, Michelle, fine. Yeah. Lisa said illness is a serious problem. That is right. That is right. I know of a situation where a gentleman, he got ill and his wife was not prepared to deal with that illness. She just couldn't handle it. And you've had it that where a woman gets ill and the man can't handle it. You see? And he goes. So that self-esteem issue and so on happens to be one of them. For better or for worse, I'd love my darling regardless. Maybe tough, but I'm in it fully. Yeah. I heard a girl on TikTok, I think it is. She shared, and she said that a guy came up to her and asked, "Ma'am, are you married?" And she said, "Yes." And he asked, "Are you happy?" Because he's trying to hit on her. And she said, "No." "But why do you think because I'm not happy that you think I'm available? I'm not happy at this time in my relationship, but I'm not leaving my relationship because I'm not in it for happiness. Relationship doesn't bring happiness. I'm not in it for that." You know, and you know, that made you think. A lot of people leave their relationship because they're unhappy. Marriage is not supposed to make you happy. Marriage and happiness is a byproduct. Happiness is a byproduct of the way how you have lived with each other. Happiness ensues because you are living good with each other. But you don't get in it to be happy, and because you're not happy, you're gone. That's why so many people leave. Guarantee you that. So that's not that the better for worse, that is why it is better for worse. Rich for poor, that's why it is rich for poor. Sickness and health, that is why it is, because you're not going to have happiness all the time. And because of that, seeking for happiness cause people to be in relationship for a very short period of time. Number 3, I hope you all keeping track and keeping numbers. Number 1, anger cause people to cheat. They're so angry with you, I'm gone and I'm going to hurt you. 2, self-esteem. You don't value me and I don't feel good about me because you don't help me to feel good about myself. And you always tell me I'm too fat. You're always telling me I'm too short. You're always telling me I'm too ugly and so on. And this person seems to like me as I is. Yeah. So therefore, bye. But they may not leave. They're still in the relationship, but you just don't know that somebody else is opening your fridge. That's right. Number 3, lack of love. Research said 495 people examined. The research said, you said you thought lack of intimacy was number one. Well, can this like you wrong? Edwin Tulsi said not able to reason out issues properly. That's right. People don't sit down and talk. They does it as soon as they get upset with someone. All right. Is it what am I? Number 3. Lack of love. Lack of love. If you don't have what we call love, and this is not the fluttering feeling inside. This is the commitment. This is the attachment that you have in the relationship. The solid, hard component. Not the software, the hardware of the relationship. If you don't have love that is in the relationship, this stable love that is enduring even in bad times, not the love that is only when the person has a salary, or when the woman is looking good, or when the woman is treating you nice, that you call that love, and when they're not doing it, you don't love. This is the love that is enduring regardless. And if you don't have love in the relationship, and the person doesn't feel or feel that they are beneficiaries of that love, what the research says is that there's a high chance, as long as that person shows them that care and love and intimacy and so on, they're going to hone you. Yeah. So if you bad treating the person, talking to them rough, you're being very selfish, they are fending for themselves, you fending for yourself, Shadow say, you're looking for horn. That's right. So, thank you, Myrtle, for enumerating them. Anger, esteem problem, lack of love. And this lack of love, when somebody begin to ask themselves, I wonder if I marry the right person. I wonder if I with the right person. Have you ever asked yourself that? Be honest. Have you ever asked yourself, am I with the right person? I feel I make a wrong choice. I feel it wrong. I feel I bounce my head with this one. Yeah? If the person is questioning whether they're in the right relationship or not, the research says that the person is likely to do this and have an affair. Yeah? So if they question their own love, there's likely to have an affair. But they are also saying, if they are questioning your love, they're also likely to have an affair. He really loved me, boy. Oh, he loved me and he treated me so. I don't think she loved me because the way how she has talked to me, I don't think she loved me. Once those questions start, then you are on a rocking chair at the edge of a cliff, and there is a little boy at the back, want to play. That's what you're going to end up with. With just a little push, you are down that cliff. Yeah. So, lack of love. You don't put time into the relationship, you are risking things bad. I hope you all start identifying some of your own issues, if anything. Number 4, as I said, the telephone number if you want counseling, if you want to be able to have some private talks, 868-688-5363 is written at the bottom of the screen. Even if you are not in this country, you can use the WhatsApp and call. And you can also, we can do counseling online. Yeah. 868-688-5363. All right. Number 4, low commitment. We've already gone 3/4 of the time already. Low commitment. Low commitment. What is low commitment? Low commitment is that I am in the relationship, but you see, I'm not investing in this relationship. I'm not doing nothing or not much. I just existing. I will eat, sleep, do my basic, but I'm not going out of the way. I'm not putting myself in any inconvenience for this relationship. If the person feels that they are in it and they are not committed, they will more than likely find a partner along with you. If you are in a relationship and the person you are with does not demonstrate commitment in the relationship, you are likely to go and find somebody. That's what they said. Hey, my friend Delia, nice to see you. Love is the foundation from which everything else will flow. She said that is why God admonished husbands to love their wives. God knew what he was saying. Because if you don't have it, because the Bible says faith, hope, and love. These three, but the greatest of these is charity. And he says love never fails. So you are right, Delia. You are right on track. Good evening, Umadara, sorry. Umadara, Guyana in the house. Good to have you. All right. All right, so those are the four so far. It's 7 of them, I think I give you, or 8. 7 or 8. I'll give you 8. Anger, esteem problems, lack of love, low commitment. Number 5. A need for variety. There are some people, they get bored. They get bored with one partner and they need variety. And let me tell you, other research show that people who are heavy consumers of pornography, they can't stand or they are less likely to stick with one partner. And here's why they said so. They said so because in pornography, the body shapes are sculptured on these pornographic sites. Well-shaped people. Even the men are rugged. Even the member, the private member, looks very, very enhanced. So when you see all of that, and every time you watch a porn, they said that the porn gives a different shape woman, a different color man, a different body texture, etc. So things keep changing. And then you go and you close your laptop or your phone and you watch your spouse. And you watch what was on that thing and you watch that spouse. Oh, you can't handle that. They don't have the shape. They don't. Your spouse has baby fat still. Your husband has a shed that at the rate material going, he must have paid a lot for that shed. You know me? And you ask yourself, this is what I have to settle with all every day, every night. So they said the need for variety. And this is variety, they said, of sexual partners. Yeah. And I think somebody had said earlier on, some of them is pure vice. Eh? I can't remember who I saw wrote that pure vice. And that is right. There are some people just pure vice, they just need variety and so on. Landon said he knows a guy who was a real chicks man. He met a girl who had her share of being hurt. He did a decent job as a boyfriend. She was always scared and stressed regardless. Too many women around for her. Too many women around for her liking. The man changed his life, became a Christian. No more worries. The woman said just that the man boring now. She well horny to him. No, Landon, you telling me, this woman, let me get your story straight, Landon. The man was that chicks man, right? He met a girl who her fair share of hurt. So which means she had a girl who passed through the fire. she was hurt by other men. So he tried his best as a boyfriend, and he was scared and stressed regardless because of course, well, she would come in with some pain and hurt. And he said too many women around for her liking. And the man changed his life. He became a Christian. He done with the womanizing. And he says, no more worry. Yet the woman said that the man turned boring. My gosh. So what? Is that some people need what, activity and drama in the relationship? And now she said that the same woman who was on, now well on heating. He gave up womanizing. She was hurt by men. And now, yeah, daddy. Oh, look at this. All right. Sean Andrews, you're now coming late. Huh? Come, rock and come in, Sean. You missed so much already.